best entertainment on the earth. Tune in for Comics with Perch.
Hey everybody, this is Perch. What does racial coding mean? Well, it's a term that you see pop up on Facebook and you see online a lot. But it does have different meanings based on who's talking about it, and how it's used can be either somewhat intellectual or as a weapon, again, depending on the argument that's being made. But a viewer's writing in talking about racially coded characters. Let's see what they have to say. It says, "Hey Perch, how's it going? Both online and, although less frequently, in real life, I've heard people allude to characters being racially coded, and I'm wondering what you make of that concept. While I can sometimes understand it in cartoons, when a lone non-human character will be given a black voice actor and will be given stereotypical black mannerisms and speech, I'm not sure that's even something to support or be proud of, and I definitely don't understand the concept in comics where you don't even have a voice attached." This was a thing I remember in some 80s cartoons, and I remember first seeing it kind of cringing at the non-human character, asking people if they wanted to kick it, or using slang words like crib, while all the other characters with white actors talked in more standard English. And nowadays, I see people doing this where sometimes they just attribute stereotypes to characters and insist they are racially coded. This article has, in my opinion, some very weird examples, and it links to a BuzzFeed, which is really all you need to know. BuzzFeed article about, cartoon characters that are, artificially black but feel black. Which is, I feel like if you're writing an article titled that, you got to know you're on the wrong track at some point. Like it'd be kind of like if you're writing an article like, why one race is superior to another. Like you know, just as you've typed that sentence, like you've gone wrong. Like you whatever normal good path you were on, you have gone astray at some point. But anyway, the letter continues. It goes, "Some of this is obviously tongue in cheek, joking. At least I hope. I doubt it. We'll look at the characters here in a minute. But some isn't. And I reflect on things I've seen or I've heard sincerely said online. Even if it was what the creators intended, is this even a good thing? I always thought the strength of teams like Transformers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is that anyone of any race watching could have their own favorite character, Transformer or Turtle, that reflected their personality and not their identity." And that's where the mail ended. And that's correct. I mean, and that used to be actually an intentional thing where cartoons in the 80s would play up robots or animals or various, when the characters were not human, that they could be embraced by everyone, all races, in some cases, all genders. But anyway, this article that he linked to from BuzzFeed has like Milo and Jake from Tweenies. I admit I've never heard of that. Arthur and his family from Arthur, which are black characters. And you get lines like this, like, "Some characters remind us of Queen Latifah. Don't ask us why." Like, but shouldn't we ask why? Anyway, there's him from the Powerpuff Girls, the Devil from Cow and Chicken, Goofy and Max are apparently black. Sure. Miss Bellum from Powerpuff Girls, that's the kind of sexy secretary, is, again, the description we've got in BuzzFeed is, "We never see her face, but we see her body, oddy. She is thicker than a bowl of oatmeal. She's black." What? I mean, come on. Well, whatever. Michelangelo and Raphael from the Ninja Turtles are black. I guess the other two are. They don't give us the same black energy, says the article. Jesus Christ. I mean, at some point, again, BuzzFeed, I know you like to point out, casual racism, but look inward. Come on, what are you doing? So we got to like see Roger from American Dad. All right. Optimus Prime. These speeches have Morgan Freeman written all over them. Okay. Bugs and Lola. Why is Bugs and Lola? One of the examples they give is that Bugs and Lola are horny. Okay. That's enough of that. So, so racially coded, I think a bunch of things there. First off, I do think there's something charming, innocent, and good about the idea that a a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle or a animated shark or something like that can just be for everyone. I think that's not a bad thing. I think that's ideally what you would want as a company. In addition to that, I think that there's, you definitely, it's true that there was a time period where you'd see these comic characters come up and they're trying to make them like, I'm streetwise, come to my crib and hang out. It's like, okay, that does sound cringy as hell. But in general, racial coding, I mean, it's like this article. It's like, this character is thick, therefore she's black. And I mean, who's getting insulted there? It feels insulting to, I don't know. That feels insulting. I wouldn't feel comfortable saying, hey, this cartoon character is thick, so she must be black. Like that doesn't sound like a good thing for anybody to go with. So I don't know. I think that so the other one that you get a lot in comic books is Starfire, where they say she's racially coded black, even though she's a alien, and the creators numerous times have pointed out how she was not. And the question I always get to is, what's the objective here? What's okay? Are you wanting to say, haha, we claim a character for black people? Is that the goal? Because that's where I get hung up with this entire argument, because I don't really see where it matters. When Starfire is running around as an orange-skinned alien, like, I don't think, haha, I claim her for, whatever, I like 95% white, 5% Asian. Yay. Like, I don't, I, I don't think that way. I don't feel like when space aliens are flying around, some of the Green Lantern characters, it's like this green skinned or pink skinned alien. I don't go, yeah, she's white coated. Got another one for us. Like, I don't understand what the benefit of trying to claim a character that way is. So I always am confused by that Starfire argument. Like, oh, she's black coded, so therefore, we claim her. And cool. And now what? She gets to be in the, if DC starts doing a Voices of DC, she can be in the DC. I don't know what you're doing there. Kind of the same thing. They included Mantis in the Asian issue of Marvel's Voices, and that was another one. It's like, really, you've got lots of pretty good Asian characters. Is that you want to throw Mantis in there? Okay, so I guess I don't understand the purpose, other than it becomes it becomes a point of argument. And that seems to be what the sole goal of the entire thing is let's argue about this character, and let's argue about the fact that we're claiming this character. I think, by the way, whenever you start off your thing with "I claim," you sound like an entitled asshole, no matter what your claim is for or about. But it's all just gross to me, and I think it's silly, and it's a Twitter thing, and it adds no material value to the character or the fan base or reading or of anything. And it's, again, if the creators of the character intended the person to be modeled off of a black person or an Asian person or a white person or whatever, that's on them. They get to decide that they can make that choice, and they can come out with that at some point. But if in modeling that character you decided to make them look completely alien and give them wings and all the rest of that kind of stuff, you've created something new. You've created an alien. You've created a completely new race. Whatever your basis or your origins of creating that race for, you created something new. And you should just be happy with that. That was a choice, you as a creator made, or the people who did it made. And it doesn't mean that, well, even though we decided to make an alien secretly, wink, wink, it's, I think that just kind of defeats the entire purpose of the character and the creation in the first place. So I don't get it. But I also feel like this is something that goes away over time. I think the entire racially coded, fundamentally, it's something that's used on the internet to go, hey, we're not exactly sure how to call somebody racist today, but we're going to say these characters are racially coded as a way to kind of narrow eyes and say, there's something fishy going on here. It's fishy, and we should all be feeling somebody should feel shame. I'm not sure who yet. We'll get to it later when we get this argument really going. But right now, somebody should feel some shame because of that. But yeah, just enjoy the comics. Great question. Thanks for listening.